The call came at 10:14 a.m. My son's teacher. Her voice cracked. "Mr. Bennett, you need to come to the school, right now." There was something in her tone, hesitation mixed with horror. I asked what happened, but she only said, "It's about the laptop your son brought in." I drove faster than I should have. When I arrived, 2 squad cars sat outside the main office. Parents whispered in the hallway. Teachers avoided eye contact. A detective was waiting for me. "Sir, please step this way." He led me to a private room. My wife's laptop sat open on the table. The detective folded his arms. "Your son brought this in for show and tell. We had to look through the files after his teacher reported something unusual." He turned the screen toward me. "Sir," he said softly, "what we found in there is disturbing." Then he pressed play. And the sound that came from that laptop, her voice, breathless, whispering a name that wasn't mine, cut through me cleaner than any knife could. I watched in silence. My reflection hovered faintly over her image. She was in a hotel room I didn't recognize. With him. A man I knew. My son's soccer coach. The detective stopped the video. "We'll need to ask your wife some questions," he said carefully. "There are other videos." I nodded. Too calm, too still. Years of composure had taught me to process disaster with grace. "I'll take the laptop home," I told him. He looked uncertain but relented. I signed a form, thanked him, and walked out through a blur of whispers. In the car, I stared at the school playground. My son was laughing with friends, innocent, oblivious, untouched by the truth his small hands had accidentally carried to light. My wife's laptop sat on the passenger seat like a confession she hadn't meant to write. When I got home, she was in the kitchen, humming. Her day was still normal. Mine wasn't. That night I didn't sleep. I went through the laptop. Every folder, every hidden file. It wasn't just videos, it was messages, emails written at midnight, plans, photos, her body in angles I'd never seen, posed for someone else's eyes. Each image was a quiet desecration of the life I thought we had. I kept scrolling. Her words, once soft in my ear, were written here for him. Private jokes, promises. "He doesn't suspect anything. You make me feel alive." I stared at that sentence for a long time. Then I whispered it aloud, just to taste its poison. She'd been alive with him. So what was she with me? By dawn, I had everything organized. Dates, times, proof. It was almost clinical, the way I documented it. Order helped. Control helped. When she woke up, I was already dressed. She smiled, kissed me, asked if I wanted coffee. I smiled back. The performance had begun. For 3 days, I kept the act going. Normal conversation, normal touch. But every word I spoke was measured against the silence of what I knew. On the 4th night, I told her we needed to talk. She sat across from me at the table, confused. "Is everything okay?" I slid the laptop toward her. "Open it," I said. She hesitated. Then she saw the folder, the name, the timestamp. Her hand began to tremble. When the first video played, she covered her mouth. Tears came fast. "Please, let me explain." I stayed silent. She tried to reach me, desperate. "It was a mistake, I swear. It didn't mean anything." I leaned back. "You recorded your mistakes." Her face crumpled. She started begging, words spilling like water from a broken faucet. But I wasn't listening anymore. I was watching her realize that her world had shifted entirely into my hands. The next morning, I made a copy of everything and mailed it anonymously to her lover's wife. No signature, no explanation, just truth. By evening, my wife was pacing, phone in hand, tears streaking her face. "He's not answering," she whispered. "He said his wife found out. She's leaving him." I watched her fall apart, quietly, effortlessly. When she turned to me, eyes red, she asked, "Did you do this?" I met her gaze. I didn't have to. You did. She broke then, completely. The sound she made wasn't crying. It was something deeper, uglier. A person realizing there's no way back. I left her standing there, surrounded by her own ghosts. It's been 6 months. The house is half empty now. She moved out last week, taking only what she could carry. I still see her name in old emails, still catch traces of her perfume in the closet. But it doesn't sting anymore. What replaced the pain wasn't peace, it was precision. I learned that betrayal doesn't end you, it reconstructs you. Piece by deliberate piece. My son never knew what he uncovered that day, and I'll never tell him. Some truths are too dark for innocence, but not for me. I live with it. I own it. The laptop sits in the attic now, sealed in a box. Every so often I think about destroying it. Then I don't. Because sometimes the only thing stronger than revenge is remembering.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and comment. Subscribe now to Cheating Stories Insight World for more amazing stories.